Zapata, and you can hear the crowd in the background as Arguello remains in the ring and is greeted by this crowd at the Cow Palace. Crawford, meanwhile, loosening up in the ring for the young man from Managua, Nicaragua. This is his golden moment. He has only lost twice in his career, both times when he fought outside of Nicaragua. And here is Hilario Zapata just arriving across the ring. The champion is here waving the little flag. Hilario Zapata of Panama City. The ring is suddenly like a jammed hotel lobby.
And both country flags represented in the center of the ring. Zapata, who is quite popular himself in Panama, and since the Leonard Duran fight, obviously, Zapata's stock in the country has improved considerably. And they say that someday this young man could own the same kind of popularity in his home country enjoyed by Roberto Duran.
Now Arguello is waving flags in mid-ring, a big one and a small one. Incidentally, we mentioned earlier that styles make the fight. And tonight in the Zapata-Crawford championship battle, it's a classic confrontation between boxer and puncher. And it should be pointed out that Rudy Crawford, Dick, has scored 8 knockouts in the first 2 rounds of 8 of his fights. 4 in round 1, 4 in round 2. Now we're going to take a look at what happened today at the weigh-in. There you see Zapata, 2 years younger. The weight identical, 108 pounds, both made the limit. The 3-inch height advantage for the champion, plus the 3-inch reach advantage. And those are key factors.
No question, Zapata owns the statistics on the tail of the tape. And Crawford is going to have to go inside if he wants to beat Zapata here in this one.
Zapata, who was a Golden Gloves champion, being awarded a cup, and many pre-fight festivities going on in mid-ring, and certainly a lot of nationalism being shown up there.
I think you're seeing here the flair of a championship fight, and certainly here at the Cow Palace in San Francisco, the crowd is keyed up for this one.
This is the feature contest of the evening. 15 rounds of boxing for the World Boxing Council Mini Flyweight Championship of the World. The officials signed to this bout by the California State Athletic Commission. The judges are Richard Steele, Rudy Ortega, and Vince Delgado. Timekeeper at the bell, Bert Seal. The attending physician, Dr. Don Lestrada. The referee, Rudy Jordan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the contestants. In the red corner, wearing white trunks with a black stripe, from Managua, Nicaragua, 107 pounds, the challenger, Rodolfo Crawford.
Crawford is introduced, and there certainly is a lot of support for the young man from Managua, Nicaragua.
In the blue corner,
now the champion,
wearing green and white trunks, from Panama City, Panama, weighing 107 3/4 pounds, the world mini flyweight champion, Hilario Zapata.
Zapata.
15 rounds.
One thing is obvious, Dick. Zapata is stoked tonight. Look at the expression. He's waving his hand at the fans, and there is another obvious development. We're not ready to fight yet. Neither fighter has his gloves on. So we're going to have a moment here as both fighters, you can see Zapata there warming up without the gloves, and they're just now getting them into position. We should point out that although Crawford has the 8 knockouts in the first 2 rounds, Zapata has managed 7 technical knockouts, and he points out that he does not have the punch. But here is a classic boxer whose greatest claim to fame as he worked his way to the title is the ability to avoid the hard punchers.
Well, an interesting thing about Zapata is that, as you mentioned, he fully admits he does not have a knockout punch to put anybody away. And they say for a boxer of his age, only 22, he has the experience of a boxer maybe 10 years his senior, that he is an incredible talent. And it's his boxing skill and talent his savvy in the ring, that has gotten him the title. And in the space of 13 months, he has had 5 title defenses. It's an incredible record for this young man, as he has been a champion and a boxing champion. He's been more than willing to step in the ring and defend the crown. And of course, most recently, his most recent bout also was a televised bout, as his style is such that it's very entertaining for fight fans to watch, as he retired Joey Oliva in Panama City on February 8th of this year, knocking him out in a TKO in the 13th round. Others who have been on the card as far as Zapata is concerned in the last 13 months: Ronaldo Bichero, Caracas, he retained his title then. Also, Shigeo Nakajima, and of course that was a rematch, as he had taken his title from Nakajima on March 24th of 1980. Shibak Kim of Korea was his first title defense. Hector Ray Melendez of Caracas his second. Shigeo Nakajima in the rematch his third. Reynoa Becerra of Caracas his fourth, and Joey Oliva his last.
Dick, one thing that the fans are certainly unaware of, that these little fellas at 108 pounds, they are not as prominent. And of course, we haven't seen ever a mini flyweight championship in the United States. This is the first one. It's also the first title fight in 19 years in San Francisco area, in the entire Bay Area. It should be mentioned, too, that Zapata in the year 1980 was named co-fighter of the year with the heavyweight champion Larry Holmes. So although the public may not be too aware of these little fellows at 108 pounds, the world of boxing certainly is of the abilities of the champion Hilario Zapata. Rudy Crawford's last fight was December 12th, a 5th-round knockout over Luis Acavallo in Managua, and his last 5 fights have been KOs. Rudy Crawford, the man you're looking at right now, 5 consecutive knockouts. Of course, Hilario Zapata is not the puncher. He's the classic boxer. By his own admission, he does not have a power punch, relying on the cumulative effect of his well-placed combinations. Zapata, we should point out also, is a southpaw. And so you're going to see him with that right hand out. Crawford fights out of the traditional right-handed stance. So not only do we have the boxer against the slugger, but we've got the southpaw against the right-hander.
But in contrast to that, very unusual style, because while he is right-handed, they say Crawford has a tendency to lead with his right, which of course would almost negate the left-hand style of Zapata.
Rudy Jordan will give the fighters
We go to
their
the mid-ring
instructions.
now for the fighters' instructions. Rudy Jordan is the referee. Crawford still has his robe on. Finally, the gloves are placed on his hands. He keeps the robe on as he goes to mid-ring. In the title fight, March of 1980 in Tokyo, Zapata defeated Shigeo Nakajima. And at that time, he was a little known, less experienced, 22-year-old challenger from Panama. The noise you heard was Arguello leaving the ring with his flag, and now let's listen to the instructions. I'm certain, Dick, that our viewers around the world and around the USA could not understand too many of those instructions, but simply said, we've got the champion in the dark trunks, Crawford in the white trunks, and here we go with the mini flyweight championship, the WBC title.
This should be the classic right here. As we mentioned earlier, Crawford, who is a slugger, Zapata, who has classic style as a boxer. Look for Crawford to come out smoking. He's a young man who knows that his time has come. Through a strange sequence of events, the number 3 challenger in the world has been given the opportunity at the title. And he realizes it's come early in his career. He also realizes he may not see another chance for a while, and Crawford is ready.
Les Kider, Dick Carlson, ringside at the Cow Palace the WBC mini flyweight title. Now you can see immediately the height advantage of the champion Zapata. Also the southpaw stance. The right hand out in front, missing the first time. Crawford on the bicycle. Zapata has to be wary of the punch and the punching power of Rudy Crawford of Nicaragua. Neither man has landed a blow thus far. Just feeling each other out in the first minute of round one. Zapata on the right of your screen, Crawford throwing the right to the body. Zapata doing what Zapata likes to do. Let the other man lead and then counter and bob and weave out of trouble. Fully aware, however, that Crawford packs dynamite. The true fight estimate is that Crawford's only chance to win the crown is to land on the chin and win by a KO.
Zapata said before the fight he's not afraid to be hit. He thinks he can take the best that Crawford has to offer. He said he's in great shape. Zapata stopped training on Wednesday. He was ready.
There's a right kick on the glove by Crawford. He points out that his fine physical condition is the greatest counter to the punching power of his opponent. We're in round number one, halfway through the round. A body attack forged by Crawford, and then he's hit with a left and right to the chin. Zapata can punch too. Although he doesn't KO many, he has 17 knockouts, most of them of the technical variety. But anytime you've got two professional fighters in there swinging, anything can happen in a title fight. Crawford still looking for an opening. Zapata moving after him as Crawford goes right to left. A quick snapping right jab by the champion. Right above our microphone, Crawford on his bicycle. Trying to stay away from that long reach. Missing a left and right. If he'd have landed the right hand, this fight would have ended. Now they're slugging at the end of round one. And Zapata hurts Crawford. Almost dropped him off the rope. More of a slip than a punch, but he did land. Crawford was a bit off balance when he was hit against the ropes.
And for Crawford, who is a little anxious in the ring, we're going to see exactly how much patience he has.
So far, he's been content to let Zapata lead with that southpaw stance, the right hand out, and that snapping jab. Zapata, the boxer deluxe, and he's fighting the kind of a fight that he wants to fight. Lands a left to the body. At the bell, he's hit with a left to the eye by Crawford. End of round one.
I'm a little surprised that Crawford, on your screen here, has been content to stay at arm's reach of Zapata, as he's giving up 3.5 inches in reach and allowing Zapata that advantage. By staying away, he has not made any attempt at all to move inside on Zapata and to try to work over the body at all. A little bit surprising, because I think all of the experts at ringside before tonight's fight all felt that he was going to immediately move inside on Zapata and try to tire him and work him over from the inside. He has not done that.
Of course, Dick, it's a 15-round fight, and Crawford has never gone past 12 rounds. And although he said before the fight yesterday that this one will not go 15, that could very well just be a sign of his own confidence.
I think that everybody agrees that if it goes 15, Zapata is in command. If Crawford is going to win it, he's going to have to drop Zapata.
Zapata, a picture of confidence, a man who has defended his title successfully and who has gone the 15-round route 6 different times. He will pace himself, and he's doing it right now. Crawford continuing to move, lands a right and takes a right thrown by Zapata. Zapata goes after him for a moment, ducks away from trouble. The crowd caught up in the excitement of a 15-round title fight in the Cow Palace. Zapata in the dark trunks, Crawford in the white. Zapata from Panama City, Crawford from Nicaragua, forcing the champion to miss the right hand. A right to the body thrown by Zapata, looked like a bolo punch, and then he lands lightly with a left and right. He may not be a knockout puncher, but Zapata is not afraid to throw the punches, is he?
No, he's not, and the style he's employing is that of a puncher. He's trying to cut off the ring from Crawford rather than the other way around.
Crawford constantly on the move. Flyweight takes a left-hand lead. Both hands up for the champion. Left to the body and a right to the top of the head by Crawford, but he caught a left to the nose. Zapata continuing with that southpaw stance. With that right hand out, gets him in the rope. Much of the motion by Crawford is self-motivated. He keeps on that bicycle. Zapata appears to be stalking his man. Lands a right snapping jab. That's quite a jab the champion has.
Keep in mind, Zapata is 22 years old, and look at the savvy he shows in the ring.
And complete confidence at every moment. Look at the concentration also as he lands an uppercut, misses the left, takes a right, backing away, left to the body, Zapata with a left as he gets Crawford off the ropes. It would appear this early, Dick, that Crawford had best stay away from the ropes. He's not gaining a thing when he's out against the ropes. Zapata piling up some points, a right by Crawford, but Zapata keeps right up on top of him with that jab. See it, the right hand. Crawford had better be in good condition if he's going to fight this style for 15 rounds against Zapata. Constantly on the move. Right to the nose, that jab. Zapata missing with the jab. Crawford keeps going clockwise, comes in with a right to the body. Ties up Zapata for the first time against the ropes. The referee again is Rudy Jordan. Jordan was the referee in that fight in Japan that you saw highlights of. The 11th round TKO. There's that snapping jab at the bell end of round 2.
Would like to point out at this time that tonight's championship fight is the first championship fight ever broadcast solely on pay television alone, and we are proud to be bringing you this event tonight on TV in Los Angeles and Cincinnati and Chicago, Phoenix, Dallas, Miami, and Detroit, and on the preview systems in Boston and in Cleveland and Sports Channel in the Long Island area. This is the first time ever that championship boxing has been presented on pay television alone. Now,
Dick, here's action in round 2.
in the round 2, Crawford, who was aggressive for flurries, still has the ring cut off by Zapata, and Zapata has exercised almost complete control of the tempo of this fight so far.
You see that snapping jab, too.
Crawford has been able to get in flurries, but flurries only.
We would unofficially feel that Zapata took round 2, but this is a 15-rounder. This is round number 3. Crawford immediately into motion clockwise on that bicycle. Zapata stalking his man. Zapata, the southpaw, with a 3-inch reach advantage and the 3-inch height advantage. A right to the body by Crawford. Nobody has said too much about the body attack by either fighter. But Crawford may very well have to go downstairs to get the points. The jab followed up with the right hand by Zapata.
From a tactical point of view, Les, I don't think that Crawford really looks for points in a fight. He's a fellow who's been known to put his man away, and I think that's what he looks for.
He's looking for the open target. There's the best right hand by Crawford thus far. Zapata shakes it off and keeps up the stalking tactics against the ever-moving Crawford. Crawford from Nicaragua takes that jab, then a short right hook thrown by Zapata. And those are point producers. Crawford trying to mix it up inside.
That's what he's going to have to do, Les. He's going to have to stay inside on Zapata.
And he's going to have to mix it. Because at long range, the longer reach and the jab will pile up the points for Zapata. This is round number 3. Zapata with that right, backing away Crawford. Crawford, ever moving, takes a right to the ear, lands a left to the shoulder of Zapata. There's the left thrown by the champion as Crawford was coming in on him. Zapata counter-punching, now throwing left and right. From this vantage point, Zapata looks like the heavy puncher. which he is not. Crawford was doing something with his mouthpiece and took a left to the mouth for his trouble. Misses a right, takes a right, and now it's two of them up against the rope. Zapata hit behind the ear by Crawford. Now Zapata chasing the challenger. And in close, more action there than we've had at any time. Crawford to the body. Zapata bobbing, weaving, chasing his man, almost hit the referee. Hits Crawford twice against the rope. Zapata says, you want to mix it? Let's mix.
Crawford hurt Zapata at that body punch.
But Zapata retaliated against the rope. Crawford has to go to the body, has to go inside. Or rather, Crawford. There's Zapata missing a left, tied up by the challenger.
Crawford again coming inside.
I have a hunch in his corner that Crawford was told to go to the body and to work inside. The jab missing by the champion. Time running out in round number 3. Crawford backing up into Zapata's corner at the bell. Zapata missing a right. Round 3 is over.
Well, if this does go 15 rounds, we're going to have two very tired fighters on our hands because they have pulled out all the stops and we're only 3 rounds into the fight. As you see the corner go to work on Rudy Crawford.
The chief second is Aguelio Arias, his manager, and the trainer is Carlos Acosta.
And Arias would be the man in there right now telling this young man, Rudy Crawford, that he better stay inside. Let's go back and watch the flurry by Zapata in round 3. Zapata in the green. He is the taller of the two. Bingo. He comes in with that long right. Now watch as he comes up. Here's where they really go at each other. Crawford was caught in the corner and he came out fighting, but Zapata, the counter puncher, comes right back on Crawford. And he landed a good right. He comes inside. And Crawford, who has to stay inside, has not been able to do so against Zapata thus far in the fight.
Crawford can't wait for round 4. He was at mid-ring. Round number 4, Crawford in the white trunks on the move on his bicycle. The champion Zapata, the taller of the two. Left, armless, then a body attack started, but here's Zapata working to the body as he backs into the rope, turns him around. No heavy punches there, but Zapata turned Crawford around in the corner, right above our microphone. Zapata continues to be the cool, collected customer. Crawford looking for his opening. Looking to land the dynamic punches that have registered 5 consecutive knockouts in his last 5 fights. Zapata's jab to the nose. Crawford looking for the opening. Zapata seemingly stalking his man again. Throws a right, but Crawford backed away from it, didn't get the full effect of the punch. Crawford accelerating and then slowing down, changing his speed. Moves Zapata, hits him with on the forehead as they tie each other up right above our microphone.
You know, Crawford has fought outside Nicaragua only twice before and lost both of those fights. He says it doesn't have any effect on tonight's fight, but somewhere he has to think about that.
Those are the only 2 fights he's lost. Zapata, who won in Japan and then repeated with that 11th round TKO. Zapata with a left that lands in the Adam's apple. A terrific right, almost a bolo punch like Kid Gavilan. And it landed, and it turned Crawford's head. Zapata may not be a knockout puncher, but you know what he does, Dick? He cuts you to ribbons if you let him land often enough. He's raking Crawford with that right-hand punch. And there's the right-hand jab by the southpaw champion from Panama City, Zapata. Throws the left. Zapata dominating here in round 4. Crawford works to the body, is thrown against the ropes. Some wrestling ability by the champion.
Those punches to the body by Crawford also get him some points, and he better start thinking about that pretty soon, because if the fight does go the duration, he is really in the hole, I would think, unofficially right now.
And certainly at long range, he's on the receiving end of most of the point-producing punches. Zapata fighting his kind of a fight. Jabbing, moving, raking his man with that right hook, and coming in occasionally with the left. And once in a while, the bolo. There's a beautiful right to the nose by Crawford. He missed the follow-up. Zapata goes down low with him, takes an uppercut, pounds to the body against the ropes. They break each other up. A fine round here in round 4. Crawford lands the right. Forced Zapata to miss, but Zapata throws a whole bunch of punches, including the left. At the end of the round, the best punch of the fight.
And it probably won't count because it came after the bell.
There was some booing, but of course they were in the middle of the barrage when the bell rang.
In Zapata's corner now, if we get a chance to maybe look at the artwork that is on his chest. Because Zapata has a tattoo of a cobra on his chest. Let's go back and look at the action in round 4. As we see a flurry, Crawford, who is not known to be a counterpuncher, gets in with the lead. As Zapata digs in, watch Crawford now bounce back from the offense of Zapata. And he gets in some of his best flurries, actually countering the attack of Zapata. And, of course, he's most effective when he's in tight.
There's that left at the end. Actually, Crawford got inside but did no damage that time. You mentioned the cobra. We asked him about it. He says it has no meaning whatever. He simply felt something should be there.
He said, I just wanted to have something on my chest, and he happened to draw a cobra.
Round number 5 for the WBC Mini Flyweight Championship. Zapata, the taller of the two, in the dark trunks on your right. Crawford in the white trunks. And Crawford on that ever-moving bicycle. Throws to the body, lands a left hook, takes a left from Zapata. Zapata countering again. Hit inside. Crawford with his best rally. Knocks Zapata back. Has the champion hurt. Crawford goes after it. Zapata was hurt momentarily against the rope. Takes another left. And Crawford with his biggest rally works to the body. Zapata was definitely in trouble, but comes back with a right jab.
No question now, Les. They have told him to go inside and begin the body punches, and the punch that staggered Zapata was not to the head, but to the chest.
Here's the most effective Crawford we've seen in the first 4+ rounds. Zapata seemingly has fought out of it, lands a right to the eye. But Crawford had him definitely hurt against the ropes, but he was able to fight his way back and seems to have shaken the cobwebs. Crawford's biggest moment thus far as he tries to take the title is hit with a left and a right. A hard right by Zapata. And Zapata lands 3 or 4 vicious punches and causes Crawford's eyes to glaze. Zapata may not be a puncher, but he certainly gets his blows in effectively. The boxer lands the left hand. Crawford had him in dangerous jeopardy early on in this 5th round, but Zapata has taken control again. You'll notice Crawford is not moving as much now. There he goes into his bicycle again. Misses a right hand and is tied up immediately.
Interesting thing, the punch you just saw, the overhand right, they list from his camp as being his most effective.
Zapata and Crawford midway through round number 5. A left thrown by Zapata. And another one, and Crawford can't get away from that long left lead. It is Zapata hit twice by Crawford. The left to the ear and a right to the eye. Crawford fighting in flurries. But Zapata throwing that left from downstairs that missed. Now he works the left to the body. You notice how quickly Zapata counters and lands a barrage of punches that are impressive to the official scores. Another left by Zapata at long range. Right above our microphone, Crawford misses. Receipts for a left and right hand, although he's backing away. A right to the nose. A missed uppercut thrown by Crawford. We are in round number 5. Referee Rudy Jordan has to break the 2. Right to the top of the head, light left the body. A miss left by Crawford from Managua, Nicaragua. Zapata defending, hoping to defend successfully his title against the little fella. There's the bell, the end of round number 5.
Well, earlier tonight, Alexis Arguello was introduced to the crowd through quite a round of applause. A very popular boxer, a man who 2-time was the flyweight champion of the world, has now moved up in classification to lightweight, and very soon hopes to have a chance at the world championship at that classification. Alexis, when do you think the fight might happen?
Well, I hope the fight take place in London, June 20th, because the fight is supposed to be in May 9th, but they postponed the fight because the promoter doesn't have a day with the television. But they changed date for June 20th.
Jim Watts would be the opponent, quite a handful.
Yes, as a good boxer too.
Must be tough to consider moving up from flyweight to lightweight. Is that a concern?
I was a featherweight, then junior lightweight. Now I go to lightweight.
You don't think that'll be a problem?
Well, my opinion, I don't think so. Have a problem because I'm natural to 135 pounds.
Let's go back to Les Carter.
Thank you, Dick. That was Alexis Arguello, who will fight Jim Watts of Glasgow, Scotland in June. We are in round 6. The taller fighter, the champion. The WBC mini flyweight champion, Hilario Zapata, missing the right hand, against Rudy Crawford, the challenger out of Nicaragua. Crawford has had a couple of moments, but we'd have to feel at this point that Zapata has scored the points, as he's doing right now. Fighting his kind of a fight, jabbing, boxing, weaving, on occasion raking his opponent with a barrage, and piling up the points. Crawford must fight in spurts and must make those spurts pay off. Crawford packs the wallop, missed the right. He has knocked out his last 5 opponents and 8 times has scored knockouts in the first and second round. He will not tonight. We are halfway through round number 6 right now. A body attack forged again by Crawford, but he takes a right to the cheek. A left and right thrown by Zapata, but he's backing away. Hilario Zapata, the cool customer from Panama City, home of Roberto Duran, trying to usurp Duran's former role as hero of all Panama. And there's a lot of nationalism in this Cow Palace crowd tonight. The flags literally are flying. Zapata at mid-ring, content to jab with that right, a snapping right jab. Crawford looking for the opening, prepared to forge the attack to the body inside. Here he comes, but he's caught with a right to the ear. They fight in close, a right by Crawford. Rudy got out of the way, a left and right, left and right. You notice a number of punches thrown. Zapata knocks him off balance as Crawford goes back to the rope. Comes back with a right to the nose, a left to the body. A vicious rally by both fighters here. The long left by Zapata. Gets Crawford in his own corner. Continues to throw punches. And down goes Crawford. Let's see if he rules it a knockdown. He rules it a knockdown. The first knockdown of the fight, scored by Zapata. A standing 8 count. The combination paid off, and Zapata is the man who scored the knockdown. Let's see if the champion goes after Crawford now. He was hurt. Zapata counter-punching and knocking him down. Right in his own corner. He got to his feet at the count of 2, took the standing 8, and the crowd didn't like that, and neither did Rudy Jordan.
When Crawford was on the ropes earlier, his corner was standing up and waving him off the ropes. It's what we talked about earlier, Les.
Zapata rallies with a long left cross and throws the right hook. The southpaw champion, Zapata, doing damage in this 6th round, now with the uppercut that was taken on the gloves that didn't affect Crawford that time. There's the bell, end of round 6. And we've had our first knockdown, and surprisingly enough, by the champion.
Well, in Crawford's corner right now, they have to be concerned that the young man is not fighting the game plan. He is not able to get Zapata cornered at all. Every time he moves inside on Zapata, Zapata has been able to back off.
Let's look at the knockdown, Dick.
All right, Zapata in the green. Now watch the reach as he comes inside, gets the extension, got quite an overhand left on Crawford. It's staggered and backwards. There it is again, a bullseye right to the center of the noggin, and Crawford went stumbling back to the rope.
Here's part of the big crowd at the Cow Palace. Here's another angle at the knockdown, Dick.
All right, Zapata, who's been able to show his own power, and he's not supposed to have this kind of power. But look at how he was able to wind up and get the extension. And Crawford just simply cannot stand back from the man that way.
If anyone believes that Zapata can't throw knockdown punches, ask Rudy Crawford. We're in round 7 of the 15-round mini flyweight championship. 1 knockdown scored, as you saw, by the champion Hilario Zapata. Now let's see if Crawford changes his strategy. He knows he's trailing. His corner has told him that, and the knockdown convinced him. He's been on that bicycle, moving clockwise, trying to work inside and work to the body. Zapata throws that right jab right on the nose. Piling up the points. Another right-left combination by the champion. Crawford comes inside, gets flipped with a right, throws the right to the body, and lands the left uppercut. But Zapata throwing more punches. Gets him against the ropes. It's Crawford hanging on now. I think Crawford has a real respect for Zapata's power. Lands a left and right, but Zapata was getting away from him. Throws the right lead. The southpaw with that right hand out in front. Lands again. There's no question Zapata is piling up points here in round 7 as well.
And very little really working for Crawford. Every time now he tries to charge inside, he's walking right into the lead of Zapata.
He's peppering him with that right hand. Again, that right hand, and you'll notice the head snap back on most occasions when the jab lands. There it is again. Watch Crawford's head when that jab comes home. There's the left cross thrown by the champion. He has a variety of punches, doesn't he? A right to the body by Crawford, but for his trouble, he gets hit 4 left and right leads that had him slowed down. Now they're tied up by referee Rudy Jordan. He landed to the body, but he receded for 4 punches. The same thing. He lands the body, and then Zapata hits him left, right, left, right. There's a right to the body on a follow-up, but a right to the body by Zapata and a left and a right. A left and a right by Zapata. And he has Crawford in trouble at the rope. Zapata throwing and landing. Every time Crawford hits him in the body, he takes 4 punches.
You know, this week Crawford was very outspoken about how he was going to fight Zapata, but he has not fought him that way. I really don't think he has stuck to the game plan at all in this fight.
And Zapata content to fight his fight with that long right jab, wait for Crawford to make his move, and then land 3 or 4 counter punches.
Alexis Arguello sitting with us here at ringside, the former great champion, also from Nicaragua, a little bit concerned for his countryman Rudy Crawford right now.
Indeed he should be, because Zapata very definitely the scoring leader now, piling up the points. And as you see, he's content to lay back, land the jab, wait for Crawford to make his move, and then counter. There's a beautiful right, the best punch of the fight by Crawford. He landed right on the button. Now we'll see if the champion can take the punch.
I might add that brought Arguello out of his seat.
A beautiful right to the chin, the bell end of round 7.
Well, I've been mentioning Alexis Arguello as you look at Zapata back in his corner. And Alexis, you have to be a little concerned right now. Your fellow countryman, Rudy Crawford, really doesn't appear to be playing the game plan very well. He hasn't been able to get inside on Zapata much at all.
Corner doesn't tell him how to breathe when he gets to the corner. It's very important for a fighter to know how to breathe in the corner, because that's only 1 minute what we have, and we have to use it for good, you know. And I think one more important thing is he didn't concentrate his mind in the fight. He might have something in his mind. I think so.
All right, let's go back. Let's take a look at that punch one more time. Crawford getting in his best punch of the fight right there. He got through the opening. Zapata left the gloves open, and he got right in there.
Round number 8 between the champion Zapata and the challenger Crawford. Each has had his moments. Crawford's biggest came with that right hand at the end of round 7. But Zapata landing many more punches, dictating the tempo of the fight. Zapata shoots that jab out. One of the big questions, can Zapata take the punch? Thus far, the answer is in the affirmative. But Crawford, that's the kind of a moment he needs to get that open shot and land. Hopefully to put the lights out for the champion from Panama. Zapata has the only knockdown. That came in round 6. Crawford moves inside. That's the way Crawford has to fight if he's going to take the title from Zapata. But so far, the champion from Panama, seemingly unhurt, unmoved by that right hand in the previous round.
I think there have only been 2 punches thrown by Crawford in the fight to hurt Zapata. One, that right to the chest, and the other in the last round to the head.
They exchange left hands against the rope, and Crawford landing a combination now and hurting Zapata, who goes downstairs, bobs and weaves. Crawford coming on strong, running into the jab, throwing the right. Over in Crawford's corner. And Zapata is the man who got out to get away from the Crawford attack. Crawford's best combination of the fight.
Now Crawford is back on the game plan. He's working inside on Zapata.
Zapata throws the jab, throws the combination again. But Crawford knows he can get inside and land. And that's a clear message now and one of vital import to him. Zapata seemingly unshaken by either the punch in the 6th or the combination in the 7th. One of the questions about Zapata's ability, there's the right hand taken on the chin by Zapata, but he comes right back and throws the left. So far, Zapata answers in the affirmative. He can take Crawford's best punches up to this point. We are in round number 8. There's the right lead by the champion. Crawford comes inside. Most of that was flurry and show. It did no damage. But he has done damage. There's the right. That landed high on the cheekbone of the champion. Crawford getting inside and making it count now. Crawford having his best round here in round number 8. 15-round WBC mini flyweight title. Crawford the shorter of the two by 3 inches.
Les Crawford's whole attitude in the ring has changed. He's much more confident this round.
Well, I think the right hand at the end of the 7th and that successful barrage early in this 8th round have instilled that confidence. There's the right high on the cheek again. If he lowers his target about an inch or two, it could be a change in the championship here. Left to the body and a follow-up right by Zapata. Forcing Crawford to miss. Another left. Zapata comes on strong at the bell. End of round 8.
You know, for the first time, we've really seen Zapata try to be the aggressor. Through the first 7 rounds, he was the counter puncher. He would counter the aggression of Crawford. Now, Zapata changing his style. Crawford able to come back on the counter, and Crawford has been able to hurt Zapata. And now Crawford seemingly more relaxed fighting Zapata. There undoubtedly has to be a question at some point early in this fight in the mind of Rudy Crawford, as Zapata was dealing out punishment, as to whether or not Rudy Crawford in his own mind maybe had a little bit more than he could handle. At some point it changed.
Dick, excuse me, Crawford's getting an awful lot of advice from outside the ring now. There's 3 or 4 of his native Nicaraguans climbing the steps and giving him the benefit of their strategy.
Well, there was quite an entourage, as you know, around the hotel with Rudy Crawford today, and also at the weigh-in, and you've seen some of them.
Round number 9. There are 2 Rudys in there. Rudy Jordan, the referee. Rudy Crawford, the challenger, against the champion, Hilario Zapata. This is round number 9. And it certainly has not lacked for action in the first 8. 1 knockdown scored by Zapata in round 6. Zapata with that right jab. Crawford coming on stronger the last 3 rounds and obviously won round number 8. This is the right. That's the kind of a haymaker he'd like to put home. It's always a classic confrontation when you've got the fine boxer and the fellow who is trying to pitch for the KO. Crawford, the smaller of the 2 in white. There's no question Rudy Crawford is trying to throw the home run. Zapata ties him up against the rope successfully. I think Zapata has some respect for Crawford's banging ability after catching that right high on the cheek at the end of the 7th.
The change in style by Crawford actually improves his chances of throwing the home run. He's had more openings.
Zapata continues to fight the champion's fight. Right jab, off the southpaw stance, counter-punching when Crawford moves inside. The big thing for him is to avoid that haymaker. There it comes, but he was backing away. Now he turns Crawford into his own corner, into Zapata's corner. There's the right jab. On the nose, a right-left thrown by the champion, who counter-punches beautifully. Now Crawford comes inside. That left was taken on the gloves alongside the right ear of the champion. We're halfway through round number 9 in the 15-round championship fight at the Cow Palace. And a couple of rights thrown by Zapata. Crawford looking for the opening. Lands a left to the body and the crowd roars. But Zapata straightens up and throws the right immediately. A right-left taken in the gloves. No damage by Zapata. The right jab and a right haymaker missing by Crawford. Crawford looking for that opening. Throwing that dynamite-laden right hand. Takes a left for his trouble. Zapata again. The counter punches. Countering magnificently. Crawford looking for the opening as he takes the jab. Forcing Zapata to miss the long right lead that time. Late in round number 9. One thing, every time Crawford throws a punch, the crowd roars. They know that he has a message in that right hand. Zapata seems unmoved by it, however. Seems as confident as he was at the outset. At long range, Zapata on the left in the green trunks, missing a left-right combination. Crawford on that bicycle takes a left-right thrown by the champions. The final seconds of round number 9. And the bell, end of round 9.
This is the first mini flyweight championship ever battled on the continental United States. You're seeing it here tonight on the special pay TV network. In his corner, Rudy Crawford still getting the advice and also the expressions of confidence as he has changed his tactics in the ring. You know, this building, the Cow Palace, has a tremendous boxing history. The first championship fight ever held in this building was in 1949 when a West Coast fighter by the name of Valencio fought a gentleman by the name of Ezra Charles of Cincinnati. Of course, Charles went on to be the heavyweight champion of the world. And that was the first major title fight ever held in this building.
You know, Dick, that was Pat Valentino, a local boy, and he was knocked out by Charles. Benny Ford, who promoted most of the fights here, several with Bobo Olson, who will be here later tonight, is seated at ringside. We're in round 10. This is for the championship of the world. Zapata in the green trunks, the champion. And the little guy of the two little guys, Crawford, the challenger, left to the body. And Zapata felt that one all the way to his shoelaces. Zapata at long range now. Crawford with a body attack and the haymaker right hand. That's what he's looking for to close shop here tonight. Gets Zapata against the ropes. You'll notice how quickly Zapata comes right back to mid-ring. Crawford weaving, looking for the opening. A left-right combination. Those are producing points for the champion. He forces Crawford to miss, but Crawford's continuing to go bombs away in the corner. Referee Rudy talking to both fighters. They've done pretty well at keeping apart. Oh, right hand by Crawford. And Zapata felt that all the way to his shoes. Crawford trying to catch Zapata open now. Zapata showing a champion's ability to fight off the ropes when he's in trouble. And believe you me, he was in trouble for a moment. But look how quickly he takes over with the right and the left. The southpaw style of the champion. That's the way Crawford will win this crown if he's going to do it. Left and right tied up by the champion, who immediately shoves him into the ropes. The reach is telling on Crawford against the ropes. He's kept at bay by Zapata. The right jab by Zapata. That's a stiff jab he throws. Crawford missing, takes a right, lands a right. Another left thrown to the eye by Crawford. A lot of action in this 10th round. Right by the champion. Crawford looking for the opening. Neither man has been visibly cut. Now they exchange right above our microphone. Crawford knows he has the punch power pack that could turn the title.
And his corner keeps motioning to bring Zapata to the corner. Cut off the ring. Every time that Crawford has done it, Zapata has been able to reverse it, as you see here.
There's the rally by Zapata again, and he counter punches and takes over and dictates the tempo of the fight. What it amounts to is Crawford fighting in flurries, and one of those flurries has to pay off or he cannot win it. Zapata at long range. Crawford on his bicycle. Late in round number 10. 15-round title fight. They exchange right hands. Crawford missing after landing to the body. Gets pushed into his corner. Takes a right and left. Answers with a left. Takes a right. Zapata right on target with a left, right, another left. And he's getting through with that long left hand. Zapata with a barrage of punches. He doesn't throw one. He throws 10.
Crawford is showing a willingness to take Zapata's punches to get his opening.
He took a left at the buzzer. The end of round number 10.
Well, keep in mind that Rudy Crawford is fast progressing into his longest fight of his professional career. Only 4 of his fights have gone to the double-digit rounds. Zapata, on the other hand, has gone the distance many, many times. And this is certainly nothing new to him, although both boxers are in superb condition. Let's go back and look some more at the action in round 10. Now, Zapata in the green, throwing the punches. That's Crawford in the white. And the last 2-3 rounds, Crawford has shown his ability to retaliate to Zapata, to take the punch that will give him the opening that he's looking for. and he'll take his man to the corner. He'll have to cut off the ring on Zapata. It's the only way that he can get inside.
Another point to make, Dick, in any championship fight, as you're watching that barrage near the end of round 10, Zapata throwing one punch after another. In any championship fight, the challenger must take the title away. In any close fight, the verdict will go to the champion. This is round number 11. Zapata, the taller of the two with a southpaw stance. Crawford knowing he has the power. The big problem, getting inside and landing. There he goes inside, stripped away as Zapata keeps him at bay. Zapata with a right again. And those rights jolt the head back. There's a right and left taken in the gloves by Crawford. That made more noise than it had effect. Zapata backed into the ropes, but look how quickly he moves outside the ropes and gets out to mid-ring.
Crawford won't stay with him. He won't finish.
He's got to follow up, and that's what his corner is yelling at him. Here he comes to the body, takes a light left on the ear for his trouble again. The snapping right, another one by Zapata. Those produce points on the official score sheet. Crawford looking for the opening. Of course, coming in, he knew that's the only way he'd win. Forces Zapata to miss. Zapata ducks under Crawford's right. Then lands the left and right. Takes the left to the ear, and Crawford misses two, lands to the body inside. The fans for Crawford holler every time he throws the punch. Zapata landing more telling blows and more frequently. We're in round number 11. Zapata, the taller of the two. Crawford from Nicaragua takes a right to the chin, and then he tries to get inside, but there's the old peekaboo of Floyd Patterson. Zapata wouldn't let him hit him. Throws a right to the body himself, a right and left to the chin. As Crawford back into Zapata's corners, throws left, right, left, another left to the ear, Zapata. Zapata piling up points here in round number 11. Crawford looking for the opening. Takes a light right to the ear. Zapata outpointing Rudy Crawford at this juncture. And that snapping left, down go the hands of Crawford. And fatigue could begin to tell on Rudy. Comes back with a right to the nose, takes a left to the body, and is immediately spun into the ropes. And it is Zapata who's the better wrestler on the ropes. Right to the body, Zapata takes a left to the nose, tries to get free for an uppercut, can't do it, and they tie each other up, and the referee has to break. We're late in round number 11. Zapata seems content to let Crawford take the lead and then counter like that, right to the face. Crawford backing away, takes another right and left, right to the body by Zapata. The champion is piling up the points now in this 11th round.
And as you pointed out, Crawford is showing fatigue. He's dropped his arms now several times in this round just to shake him out.
A left to the face. The referee warned him, but that was inadvertent. The bell ends round 11. And in that round, Dick, it was pretty much of a Zapata boxing show.
These two men have only one common opponent. And oftentimes you can measure who is the better, who has the better opportunities by measuring their common opponents. Nestor Obregon is the only common foe. He knocked Crawford out in the 8th round in his fight, and Zapata won on a 10-round decision when they met. So Zapata has the edge in common foe. Rudy Crawford is getting a lot of advice now from his corner. There's no question he has reverted more to the style that they have asked, but he is not doing the one critical tactical thing that they have asked him to do, and that is take Zapata to the corner and cut him off. And that takes away Zapata's reach.
You're looking at Crawford.
Crawford has not taken away Zapata's reach in this fight.
No, he has not. And the only knockdown was scored by Zapata, the champion, round 6, a standing 8 count. Now we're in round number 12, only 4 rounds to go. And if Crawford's going to take the title from Zapata, he's got to come on strong right now. He's simply running out of time as Zapata has piled up a lead with his boxing ability. And he's also landed some very telling punches. Crawford looking for the opening. There's the peekaboo of Floyd Patterson. As Zapata just lets him wail away, gets off the ropes, now at mid-ring at long range. Zapata seems to coast a little here in round 12. Crawford comes in with a left to the ear and a left to the body that was taken on the elbow. gets Zapata against the ropes, but Zapata ducks, fights off the ropes, takes it right on the shoulder. Crawford not landing as crisply as he did earlier in those flurries.
One thing you have to wonder, Les, Crawford has landed some pretty heavy blows to Zapata's head, and Zapata has been able to take them, and you wonder if Crawford is even able to put Zapata away.
It may also give Zapata some confidence. He's taken everything Crawford's had, and it's Zapata landing the telling punches again here early in round 12. A right to the eye by Zapata. And he still has that snapping jab. Throws the right hook that time. Crawford missing wildly, slipping in mid-ring. Zapata ties him up effectively, misses his own wild left. A left by Zapata, a missed right by Crawford. He takes a light left thrown by the champion, and Zapata misses, then comes through with his third and fourth punches that land, and a hard right jolt to the chin by Zapata. Boy, if he doesn't get you with the first two, he'll get you with the third, fourth, and fifth. There's the left to the face by the champion, a light uppercut by Crawford that had no effect. We're late in round number 12 for the mini flyweight championship. Zapata, the taller of the two, in the dark trunks, is the champion. Crawford trying to take his crown from him tonight at the Cow Palace in San Francisco. At long range now, Crawford's punches lack steam in this round, Dick. He's landing a few in close, but they don't have the same steam they had earlier.
And notice how he continues. Crawford continues to drop those arms.
Tired, the pace getting to him. Zapata content to dictate the tempo from long range and tie up Crawford in close. Round number 12. Zapata almost looks like a fighter who's cruising in this round.
Crawford's really tired.
And that fatigue will take its toll in the final 3 rounds because Zapata will not give him too much rest time.
And Crawford has never gone beyond the 12th round.
Here's a left to the head that jolts Crawford, and Zapata gets more points with a right to the face. A right to the body by Crawford, but Zapata continues to pound away inside. The bell, end of round 12. You mentioned that he's never gone past this point, and it's telling, particularly in the last 2 rounds.
The last time that Rudy Crawford went 12 rounds, or, well, he's never gone more than 12. The last time he went 12 was in a 12-round bout at Managua, Nicaragua, in January of '79 when he beat Manuelito Lopez, and that's been almost 2 years now.
Dick, let's look at that last flurry in round 12.
All right, now you see Crawford. He's almost lunging. He's so tired. And Zapata, who still has plenty left, takes it to full advantage as he counters and really goes to work on Crawford. Zapata obviously in superior physical shape, able to cruise. He has paced himself well. And look at the effort expended by Crawford. The smaller of the two by 4 inches every time he has to come inside on Hilario Zapata.
You mentioned the distance that he has gone, including the championship over Nakajima. Zapata has fought 15 rounds 5 times in 1980. This is round number 13. Zapata, the taller of the two in the dark trunks. Crawford with a last gasp effort to usurp the crown. And he must do it with dynamite punches. But he's turned around in his own corner by Zapata, who pushes him into the ropes right above our microphone.
And the disappointment of his corner people, too, because for the first time, he really had Zapata backed up into the pad in the corner and couldn't keep him there.
Zapata, seemingly the stronger of the two here in round 13. All right, now a left to the ear, and the right uppercut and another one by Zapata off the ropes. Referee Rudy Jordan forced to break them in momentarily. And here is Crawford looking for that one KO wallop that could change the tide. Zapata, of course, alerted to that in his own corner between rounds. Content to dictate the tempo as he's done. Jab with the right. And the last couple of rounds, apparently content to fight at long range and cruise a bit until Crawford makes his move. And that move has not paid off in the last 2 rounds.
Well, we don't have access to the official scoring, but I honestly believe Zapata could cruise for the last 2 rounds after this and easily take home the win.
No question, he's outpointing the challenger, and at that moment, he turns him around and gets more points with his counter punches. He has the only knockdown, scored it in round 6. when a long overhand left by Zapata sent the challenger to the floor. And that was a couple of punches to the body by Zapata. Crawford answers in kind, but without any telling effect. We're halfway through round 13. The left hand and the left-right combination by the champion. Crawford looks in trouble in his own corner as the pace is wearing. A left to the face, and the hands drop again. Watch his hands go down after the left. Another one by Zapata. And there's no question that it's Zapata all the way in round 13. And he could finish the fight if he lands one of those barrages. There's the left and right. Crawford's hands down, looking like a weary warrior right now.
No question about it. I'm not sure he has enough wallop left to do any real damage. Zapata is in complete control now.
Even if he got the opening, it's questionable whether Zapata would shake it off and keep on coming. Over toward Crawford's corner, you can see Zapata content to cruise, backpedal now. Let Crawford use up what little energy he has left, then counter right above our microphone. The long left missed by Crawford. A right to the face, lightly thrown by the champion. A left lands to the ribs by Crawford, but without the steam it had in the middle round. We're late in round 13. The bell, and just 2 rounds remain, Dick.
Hilario Zapata defending his title for the 6th time, and possibly, quite possibly, successfully defending it, barring some kind of miraculous effort by Rudy Crawford in the final 2 rounds. And you can see why, at the age of 22, Hilario Zapata has a brilliant future ahead of him. He is called one of the finest craftsmen in the business, and also last year, the 1980 WBC Boxer of the Year, the first time ever that a mini flyweight division boxer has won that honor, and you're seeing why here tonight.
He shared it with Larry Holmes. We'd like to mention to our viewers, as J&J Sports Productions bring you this championship from the Cow Palace in Los Angeles and Detroit via national subscription TV, Cincinnati on TV, Boston and Cleveland ATC, Phoenix, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Dallas, Fort Worth, Oak Communications, New York, New Jersey, Long Island, the Sports Channel. We hope you're enjoying the action from the Cow Palace. This is round number 14. Zapata backing away now. And Crawford, knowing he must do it in the next 2 rounds if he's going to get that title. And he's had his best flurry that we've seen since the 10th round right there. But Zapata gives you the impression that it had no telling effect on him.
Well, you're looking at a very desperate fighter now in Rudy Crawford. He knows what he has to do. His only chance, and his corner had to tell him, was to knock Zapata out.
There's the counter punching by the champion with the southpaw style. Crawford moves inside, and Zapata crouches away from him. The left to the ear. Looks like he's cuffing him at the ear. Gets him in Zapata's corner. A right and left and a right uppercut and a right to the body. All Zapata there. He's giving him a fearful beating right now. It's all Zapata. And that's what you would call taking a licking in this 14th round.
Really, Les, we've been treated to a real show by these 2 young men here in the mini flyweight championship of the WBC, because this has been a real wailing war between these 2 young men.
Gosh, it's great to see 2 little guys at 108 pounds maintain this pace and keep up the action.
I've always contended the lighter weights will put on a faster show because they obviously are quicker, and they obviously have the stamina to be throwing more punches for more rounds.
You're looking at Crawford. Rudy from Nicaragua out of desperation now. He landed a right, but it had no steam. And Zapata counter punches. Forces Crawford to miss with a long left. Lands a right to his nose. And just continues to counter, dictate the tempo, land a left, and there's a bolo punch. Kid Gavilan, where are you? Another light right thrown by the champion Zapata. A right thrown by Crawford. Zapata was backing away. Crawford missing more in this round than in any other. And Zapata content to miss a little because of what we feel is a tremendous lead.
Looking ahead to the future of Rudy Crawford, it's important that he goes 15 rounds here tonight, Les, because there's no question he will be heard from, maybe even get a future attempt at Zapata, but he needs to go 15 rounds. He needs to see he can do it and to build that confidence.
It's a fanciful clinic put on by Hilario Zapata tonight at the expense of Rudy Crawford. Others would call it a boxing lesson. It's been artful. He has landed the telling punches except for a couple of times. And now in a slugging bee, Zapata holds his own with a weary challenger from Nicaragua.
Zapata, who is 4 inches taller than Crawford, using it well, but it should be pointed out the versatility of Zapata, because when he beat Olivio was taller than Zapata.
But the one we saw, the title defense against Nakajima, looked a lot like this one in its 11th round, which was his final round. There's the bell ending round 14.
And as we prepare to go to round 15, once again we should point out that Rudy Crawford is 2 rounds past the longest effort he has ever expended as a professional boxer. He has never gone beyond 12, and only twice in his career had he gone that far. And he is really getting a workover in his corner. You see on the left of your screen the ice bag applied. He's a very weary fighter indeed. He is the guy who is out there to throw the haymaker. He is the swinger, whereas Zapata is the tactician, the boxer. And when you go 15 rounds, generally it will be the boxer who has the edge, because he has the stamina. He can pace himself. He can gain the points in a long fight. The swinger will oftentimes tire himself and expend himself earlier, as we have seen here tonight from Rudy Crawford.
Dick, you think Zapata is so far ahead that his corner is asking him to be cautious in this final round?
I think, quite frankly, Les, they're already asking him where he wants to go to dinner to celebrate.
Very good answer, and it's obvious to him and to everybody in the Cow Palace that the championship will stay in Panama City unless Crawford comes up with that last second haymaker.
That's the only thing they had to warn Zapata about, is don't make an error.
That's what we meant by that caution. Now, for the first time, blood trickling from the mouth of Rudy Crawford as he's hit in the mouth repeatedly by Zapata's left jab. Or right jab, as you see right there. Zapata staying at long range. Crawford throwing, hopefully, the haymaker that could turn it around at the end. The crowd from Nicaragua behind us begging for the knockout. And if it comes, it will be one of the shockers of the year.
And remember, Zapata, who has taken some of the popularity of Roberto Duran in Panama, will be adding to that here tonight.
There you see him crouch out of trouble, just walk to mid-ring, and just let the time tick by. And this, the 15th and final round, as the champion. Zapata, now the referee stops the fight only momentarily. The lace on his right glove has come loose, and they're going to tighten the glove. And you see Zapata waving to the crowd. He knows the title is still his.
And he also knows the crowd is his. They have been throughout this championship fight.
Zapata from Panama City, just letting Crawford swing away here in the 15th round. Crawford hopeful of landing that last second knockout. But as we mentioned along about the 11th or 12th, even if he landed, I don't believe he could put him out now. The steam isn't what it was earlier, obviously. He has never gone this far. It's the 15th and final round, and we're in the final minute of the championship fight at the San Francisco Cow Palace. And you'll notice the strategy of Zapata in this round. Just stay at long range, duck away from his overhand punches, come back with a counter, mostly the jab, duck, bob, and weave.
One thing I should say here, Les, is a lot of credit should go to Rudy Crawford, because Zapata has not been able to put him away either. And he has been one game combatant in the ring here tonight.
He only knocked down the 6th round scored by the champion, but Crawford continuing to look for the opening. And he's got a lot of heart, and he knows he can throw a haymaker. 5 straight knockouts, but he's receding here to the left and right, dropping his hands again. And I think both fighters now are waiting for that bell. Zapata with that fine counter-punching, giving him one more dance at the end.
I think Zapata really is, at this point, looking for the opening, trying to see if he can score the KO or the TKO.
Well, if he'd land clean, it might be a full knockout, because it's an obviously weary warrior from Nicaragua.
And only 6 seconds left in this fight.
The final moments of the championship. And it's all over at the Cow Palace. Listen to the crowd.
Rudy Crawford, who at the very end found his knees buckling, he was so tired, put on quite an effort here tonight against the champion, Hilario Zapata. But in the end, I think that Crawford has learned why Zapata is the champion and will continue to be the champion. Zapata fought a classic fight. As you see him there, getting the congratulations of his corner. Zapata fought the classic fight. He fought it from beginning to end his way, and that's the reason he's going to win it.
Dick, they are trying to keep his countrymen out of the ring, although one just got in with a bathrobe, and they're all around the ring, and they want to get in and honor their champion, and the officials are hopefully keeping them outside the square circle, which is wise, because that's when things happen.
Yeah. A very spirited crowd, and for Crawford, who is across the ring from Zapata, you look at Zapata in his corner, Crawford has one very serious thing he will have to contend with, Les, and that is that, frankly, he probably will fight every fight left in his professional career out of his native Nicaragua. And the reason being is that the country has passed legislation saying that any fight held in the country, the purse will be donated to charity. He will not be able to make a nickel as a professional fighter in his own country. And they will force him on the road as they are forcing Alexis Arguello on the road, as he will fight Watt in London, as you heard earlier. They will have to fight away from home.
To the middle of the ring and the announcement of the decision.
Zapata, 137 Crawford. Judge Richard Steele, 148 Zapata, 137 Crawford. The Judge Rudy Ortega, 149 Zapata, 136 Crawford.
Unanimous decision as Zapata's scoring by all three judges was very similar, and I think pretty well followed what we described.